Good morning. Today I want to explain what are the protection of functional groups. So first you should know about the functional groups. So as you know, functional groups are the atoms or group of atoms which can define the property of any compound. For example, if it is having OH functional group means alcoholic functional group, so any compound having OH group will treated as a alcohol and they will show the similar property. Similarly, there are other several functional groups such as aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid, cyanide, etc. So why we need protecting groups? So as you know, if you want to convert a polyfunctional molecule to the another compound, then there may be interference of one functional group with other functional group under the reaction condition. So in such cases, first you need to protect one functionality and then you can convert other functional group to the desired compound. One example we are mentioning here is this compound having aldehyde and alcohol group. If you treat this one with chromium trioxide, you will get dicarboxylic acid. So here this is non-selective oxidation, and here oxidation of aldehyde as well as alcohol functionality is happening. But if you use silver oxide, so silver oxide can oxidize only aldehyde to carboxylic acid. So you will get this compound having COOH and OH group. So selective functionalization of polyfunctional molecules is an important and highly desirable task in multi or step organic synthesis. So here one example is there. This compound having primary alcohol as well as secondary alcohol. So if you want to oxidize selectively the secondary alcohol, then it's very difficult to get this target molecule, because any oxidizing agent will oxidize both secondary and primary alcohol to the corresponding carbonyl compound. So if you want to oxidize selectively this secondary alcohol, then first you need to block the reactivity of primary alcohol, and this one can be done by using some protecting groups. So after protecting this primary alcohol, you will get this compound where primary OH is protected with some protecting group, and then you can perform oxidation reaction and to get this ketone compound, and after removal of this protecting group, you can get this target molecule. So then how you can define protecting group? So protecting group is a framework or molecular framework that can be introduced to a particular functional group in a polyfunctional molecule to block its reactivity so that you can perform other reactions, other modifications. So here one systematic scheme given. In this one, RFG, it is just reactive functional group, FG means functional group. So if you are protecting this functional group, so suppose that you are getting some compound called RG, this is the masked functional group, means the functional group is already protected here. So if you want to do any modification in the R group, just you can do the reaction, and after the modification you will get suppose that RL, and then if you remove this protecting group, so again you can generate this reactive functional group. So even after protecting, you can deprotect it and you will get the starting material. So here one example. This is the mannose. So it's having polyhydroxy group. So if you want to convert this mannose to manosyl bromide, means only you want to do the reaction of anomeric alcohol, so it will be very difficult. So what you have to do to achieve this manosyl bromide, first you protect acetate for all the 5 hydroxy groups, so you will get this pentacetate compound. And after treating with HBr only, since the reactivity of this anomeric acetate is much high, So it will only react with the HBr and it will give the monosyl bromide. So what are the quality of protecting groups? So first, it should be readily and selectively introduced to desired functional group in a polyfunctional molecule. Means the introduction of any protecting group should be easy so that you can easily introduce to a functional group. Second, it should be inert to the reagent employed in subsequent reaction. So after protecting, so a good protecting group is there which can tolerate several reaction conditions, especially whatever reaction we need to perform next, that reaction condition should be tolerated by the protecting. And the third one, very important, it should be selectively removed under the reaction condition, mild reaction condition. Means after doing the desired modification in molecule, you should easily remove the protecting group. Otherwise, if it is not so, then that protecting group is not good. Fourth one, it should be cheap and commercially. So for economic purpose, we should know that the material or protecting group should be available commercially and it should be very cheap. And fifth one, it should not create any stereogenic center. So if protecting group causes creation of stereogenic center, it means it will increase the number of isomer. So always it is avoid to not have any stereo center in the protecting group. So now we will discuss protecting group for alcohol, or alcohols are also known as hydroxy groups. So first, protection group as a ether. So how to form ether. So if you treat alcohol with another alcohol using some acid, so you will get the ether. So one example, if ROH you want to convert to ROME. ROME means it is the methyl ether. So how to create or how to convert to the ether? So in reaction condition, either you use diazomethane. So diazomethane can generate ROME, or you can use any methylating agent like methyl iodide or methyl sulfate using some base to get the ROME. So one example here, this secondary functionality, if you treat potassium tertiary butoxide and methyl iodide, you will get this methyl protected compound. Similarly, in this compound, this secondary OH can be protected with methyl iodide and silver oxide to get this methylated compound. So for any protecting group, you should know two things. One, the condition for forming it, and another, after doing the desired modification, how you can remove it. So the second important thing is you should know the cleavage of that particular functional group. So removing the ether functionality, you can use trimethyl silyl iodide. This is the one condition. You can use Lewis acid such as bromine, BBr3, boron tribromide, or aluminum trihalide. One example is given here. So this methoxy group can be easily deprotected using aluminum chloride to get the free hydroxy group. Second one is the methoxymethyl ether. It's also known as MOM ether. So how to form this one? So you can use MOM chloride. MOM chloride means methoxymethyl chloride and base. Another condition, you can use MOM chloride in presence of some Lewis base such as diisopropyl ethyl amine. How to cleave this MOM group? So it's the only acidic condition in the protic solvent. So HCl methanol, this is the. So you should know for one functional group how you can protect it with few protecting group and how you can remove it. So another ether or the tetrahydropyranyl ether is called THP ether. So you can see here how to form this THP ether. So this compound, 6 member, having oxygen and one double bond, is called DHP, means dihydropyran. So this dihydropyran, if you treat with alcohol, it will react and it will form this type of compound, and this is called THP protected alcohol. So you can write it ROTHP, tetrahydropyranyl. So how it is forming? So mechanism is given here. So first, in this condition, protecting as a THP, you need some acid catalyst. So first acid will react with this double bond and it will generate this oxonium ion, and with this oxonium ion, since this carbon become very electrophilic nature, then alcohol will react with this one and it will form the tetrahydropyranyl. So you can see here there is generation of one chirality here. So this chirality causes the formation of isomer. Suppose that your alcohol are having one chiral center. So if you are protecting as a THP, so there is generation of one more chiral center. So obviously there is formation of isomer. So that's why initially we explained, we know that we have always tried to avoid the any protecting group which can create a stereogenic center. So this THP is not much recommended protection, but since it is very stable under both acidic and basic condition, so that's why this is going to use for the protection of alcohol. So this is the some Lewis acid catalyst which is using for the protection of alcohol as a THP. So one is PPTS. PPTS means pyridinium paratoluene sulfonate, and another is PTSA, that is paratoluene sulfonic acid. So these are the acid catalysts which is going to use for protection of alcohol as a tetrahydropyranyl. So cleavage, how to cleave this one? So it is acidic condition in protic solvent or water. So one first condition in acetic acid, THF water or PTSA ethanol, and another is embryolized H15. This is nothing but one of the acidic soil. So that one is called the embryolized. So this one you can use for the deep protection. Another is benzyl ether. So this is very commonly used protecting group in organic synthesis. So benzyl is also written as BN or ROCH2PH. So this is stable under both acidic and basic condition. That's why this is very common to protect alcohol as a benzyl protection. So how to form this one is just alcohol, take alcohol and treat with base and benzyl bromide, you will get the benzyl protected compound, this one. Another reaction condition is you can use silver oxide and benzyl bromide in DMF solvent, you can get the benzyl. So one example mentioned here. So this one having, you see, primary alcohol as well as secondary alcohol. So if you treat benzyl bromide, so since what happening in this case? So base will abstract the proton and then O minus will react to the benzyl group, means SN2 reaction. So as you know, primary alcohol are much reactive towards the SN1 reaction as compared to the secondary alcohol because of the steric factor. So here primary alcohol only will react and it will form the OBN compound without reacting to the second. In another example, you can see this alcohol can be protected using benzyl bromide and silver oxide to get this compound. What are the cleavage? So cleavage condition is one very important is catalytic hydrogenation. So if you do catalytic hydrogenation, means using some metal in presence of hydrogen, so you will get the deprotected alcohol. So another is Raney-Nichols ethanol, and you can use Burke condition. Burke condition means ammonia in presence of alkali metals in ethanol, you can get the deprotected compound. Next, acid catalyzed benzylation. So first one you see that it was the base catalyzed, but suppose that in your alcohol molecule or your starting material, if there are some base sensitive functionalities or some base sensitive things, then you cannot use base to protect the OH as a benzyl. So in that case you need some acid catalyzed benzylation. So this can be done by using benzyl trichloroestamidate. So you can see here how to protect this one, how to form this benzyl trichloroestamidate. So here you see this trichloroestonitrile CCl3Cn. So this nitrogen lone pair will attach to the proton because you will use catalytic acid, and then it will, this alcohol of the you have to use benzyl alcohol. So this lone pair will attach to the carbon and it will generate this type of compound where double bond NH is there. And then if you use catalytic trifluoro sulfonic acid, then you will get this intermediate. So in this is called active benzylating agent, because this carbon is attached with CCl3 as well as double bond N, and that N having the positive charge which make this carbon of benzyl group very electrophilic in nature. So alcohol will hit it, alcohol will attack with this benzylic carbon, and this will go, and finally you will get the benzyl protected alcohol, and you will get side product, the trichloroestamide, and trifluic acid will go out. So this trifluic acid again it will involve in the catalytic cycle and will give the BN protected alcohol. So see, so one very important example is this one. So if you use base to protect this OH, so what happening, this methyl chiral center, it is just near to this carbonyl compound, and if you use base, so this proton is very acidic in nature. So there may be chance for racemization of this chiral methyl group. So that's why to avoid the racemization, you have to use acid catalyzed benzyl protection. So use this immediate compound. Using this one in presence of catalytic trifluic acid, you will get this benzyl protected compound without any racemization. Similarly, this compound can be protected as a benzyl using the immediate in presence of trifluic acid. So fifth one is tertiary butyl ester. So tertiary butyl ester means you can prepare by using tertiary butanol and sulfuric acid, and another method is just use this olefin under the acid condition. So you will get the tertiary butyl protected alcohol, and if you use any acid, so you can get deprotection and you will get the OH1. Next one is the para-methoxybenzyl ether, are called PMB ether. So here also just take alcohol and PMB chloride, PMB chloride, you will get this PMB protected alcohol. So you can write as ROPMB. So how to form? It's just similar to benzyl, means sodium hydride base and this alkyl halide, that is PMB chloride. So you will get it this one. Or you can protect it also in the acidic condition, same as a benzyl protection, by using PMB alcohol. Cleavage. So this cleavage is somewhat little different from the benzyl one. So you can use to cleave this one, that is the DDQ. So this is the very selective deprotecting agent for PMB group. Steric ammonium nitrate and hydrogenation also you can use for the deprotecting the benzyl. One example here, if you use DDQ and there is PMB protection on primary alcohol, and at third carbon there is free OH group, then it's going to form this type of compound, this type of acetal compound. And then if you use diol as a bulky reducing agent, so hydride will transfer at this carbon, so and this bond will shift and you will get this secondary alcohol PMB protected primary alcohol. Another is trityl ether. So trityl is the very bulkiest ether. Trityl means triphenyl methyl. So how to form? So suppose that if a compound having two functional groups, two OH group, one is primary and another is secondary, so primary can be easily protected with using trityl chloride and triethylamine. Because of the bulkiness of this trityl chloride, secondary alcohol will not protect. So you can get only primary protected trityl. So this is in 100%. No reaction on the secondary alcohol. So cleavage, it is generally cleaved under the acid hydrolysis or under hydrogenalysis condition. So see this example, if you use formic acid, you will get the deprotected primary alcohol compound. Next one is protection of OH as a silyl ether. Silyl ether matlab means silyl So next one is silyl ether. So if you use silyl chloride in presence of alkyl chloride, so you will get the silyl ether. So how to form silyl ether? So trialkyl silyl chloride you can use in presence of base, so you can get this silyl derivative. So silyl chloride you can use in presence of imidazole or DMAP, means just you have to use trialkyl silyl chloride and base to get the silyl ether. Cleavage is very selective, means if you use fluoride ion, as you know, fluoride ion is very selective towards the reaction with silicon, because fluoride ion can bind with the silicon d orbital available, vacant d orbital available in silicon can bind with this lone pair of electron which is present to the p orbital of fluoride. So if you use any fluoride ion, you can easily deprotect the silyl protecting group. So silyl protecting group, there are several silyl protecting groups. So first one is the trimethyl silyl ether. So if you use trimethyl silyl chloride, this one, you will get the trimethyl silyl ether, this one. So TMS ether are very unstable and very sensitive toward the solvolysis. Means these are very unstable protecting groups. So suppose that if you want to do only few modification, then only you have to choose this TMS protecting group, because this can be easily cleaved under any reaction condition. So generally we are not using this TMS until unless just we need only one step modification. Yes. So another one is a triethyl silyl ether. So in place of TMS chloride, if you use triethyl silyl chloride, you will get the triethyl silyl protection. So in shortcut we are writing RO test. Another one is triisopropyl ethers. So this is in shortcut we know TIPS. So this can be prepared by using triisopropyl silyl chloride with the alcohol. So these all silyl protection are done in the same manner using silyl chloride and some base. Another one is tertiary butyl dimethyl ether. So tertiary butyl dimethyl ether, just you can see the structure, silyl having two methyl group and one tertiary butyl group. So this is called tertiary butyl silyl, tertiary butyl dimethyl silyl. So here also you have to use tertiary butyl dimethyl silyl chloride and alcohol in presence of some base, so to get the TBS protected alcohol. So it is very stable to the bases and mild acid, and it's very selective for the protection of primary alcohol in the presence of secondary alcohol. So formation, it's required generally tertiary butyl dimethyl silyl chloride and base, this condition, or you can use in place of TBDMS chloride, means tertiary butyl dimethyl silyl chloride, you can use tertiary butyl dimethyl silyl triplet also, using the 2,6-lutidine as a base. So see, in this example, there is test protection and TBS protection. If you use acetic acid, so only test will deprotect. So after test deprotection, this alcohol will bind with this carbonyl, and it may give this type of compound. So it is means this tertiary butyl dimethyl silyl protection is 10 to the power 4 times more stable than the TMS toward the basic hydrolysis. Another one is this 8.5, that is tertiary butyl diphenyl silyl ether. So it is same as a previous one, only changes in place of methyl there is 2-phenyl. So this, due to this presence of 2-phenyl and 1 tertiary butyl, this is the very bulky protecting group. So this one also you can use to protect primary alcohol even in presence of secondary and tertiary alcohol, because it will not react to the secondary and tertiary alcohol at all. So only it will react to the primary alcohol, so that you can selectively protect. So here TBS group can also be removed in presence of TB-DPS by acid hydrolysis. So means if suppose that TBS and TB-DPS both groups are present in the molecule, so you can remove selectively TBS group in presence of TB-DPS. Means TB-DPS are more stable than the TBS under this acidic conditions. So second, protection of alcohol as esters. So you know what are the ester? Generally if you treat alcohol with acid in presence of some acid catalyst, you will get the ester compound. So see here, if you take the carboxylic acid and just activate this carboxylic acid group either as a acid chloride or as a anhydride, and then if you add some nucleophile, such as suppose that if you are adding alcohol, you will get the ester. If you are adding amine, you can get the amide. Means you will get this carboxylic acid derivatives by using the activated acid. So first one by acid chloride. So if you take carboxylic acid and treat with the some reagents such as thionyl chloride, PCl5 or oxalyl chloride, so you will get the acid chloride RCOCl. And this RCOCl using DMAP, with DMAP it will give this type of complex, and this complex if you treat with alcohol, simply you will get the ester compound, and this side, sorry, this you will get the ester compound. Means how to prepare ester? So first you need to convert acid to the activated acid by either making acid chloride or anhydride, and then you add alcohol to get the ester compound. Another one is the anhydride. So as you know, if you heat acid in presence of some dehydrating agent such as phosphorus pentoxide, you will get the acid anhydride. So some other activating groups are, suppose that if you take this acid and treat with this diimidazole carbonyl compound, this compound, so you will get this acyl imidazole. So this acyl imidazole also acts as an active acid compound. So RCOOH means carboxylic acid, if you treat with DCC, that will also generate the activated carboxylic acid, and by which if you add alcohol you will get the ester. So this is the common method for the preparing ester using acid and alcohol in presence of DCC. Another, so some example of ester is first acetate. So acetate protection, you know very well, you are doing several acetate protection. So just treat alcohol with the acetic anhydride or acid chloride, acetyl chloride in presence of some base, you will get the acid protection. What are the cleavage condition? Any basic condition if you use under protic solvent, you will get the acetate deprotection. For example, if you use potassium carbonate, methanol or lithium hydroxide, methanol or ammonia methanol, and another one method is lipase also we can use for the hydrolysis of acetate. So one example given here, this diacetate compound can be hydrolyzed using lipase to this selective hydrolysis of one acetate, so that get enantiomeric pure compound, this one in 96% enantiomeric excess. So second ester is the pivolate. So what is this pivolate? It's just tertiary butyl acetyl chloride. So you see here, if you treat alcohol with this tertiary butyl acetyl chloride in presence of some base, you will get this type of compound, and this is called pivolyl ester, pivolate. So formation is simple, just you take this chloride in base, or you can use anhydride, tertiary butyl acetic anhydride, or so called pivolyl anhydride, so you will get this pivolyl protected ester. Another is benzoate ester. So just you use alcohol and benzoyl chloride. So if you treat benzoyl chloride with alcohol, you will get the benzoate ester. So what is the cleavage condition? So what are the cleavage condition? So use base, that is potassium carbonate in methanol or potassium cyanide in methanol, you will get this benzoyl deprotection. So now another is very important, that is protection of, so till now whatever I discussed, that is protection of only mono alcohol. But now we will discuss protection of 1,2-diols and 1,3-diol. So 1,2-diol, if you treat with ketone compound, you will get this 1,3-dioxolane compound. So this is nothing but just formation of acetal or ketal. So here it is ketone, so it is just formation of ketal with this dihydroxy compound. So you can, it will give 1,3-dioxolane.